Welcome to the therapy room. I'm your host, Shea Myrick. Today, I have the pleasure of sitting down with therapist Catherine Marge from the Center of Child Development. Hi, Catherine. Welcome to the therapy room.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Catherine, can you please let our viewers know a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Uh, like you said, Shay, my name is Catherine Marge. I currently hold a license in master social work. I'm working towards my clinical license. I should be able to apply for that next year. Uh,
Awesome.
I have worked with the Center for Child Development since I did my field placement with them for my master's. I had the honor of being supervised by Jen Meehan and Rachel Grandy. You guys have met Rachel Grandy previously on the therapy room. Um, and I couldn't help but stay after my field placement. I enjoyed the Center for Child Development so much.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. So, Catherine, what made you even want to become a child therapist?
It goes back to when I was a little kid and I um, had a few really important individuals in my life. I had a third grade teacher and actually a nun. I went to Catholic school. I had two really great people along with my parents and family who really supported me during times where I needed help. And as I got older, I continued working with children. I come from a very large family. My mom's one of nine,
Hmm.
and I've always been around children all my life. And the thing that I always noticed in all the times that I've worked with children is um, when talking with children, observing children, playing with them, I always noticed that they tended to feel like they had to be quiet or they couldn't share their opinion. Their confidence was a little bit dimmed. You would see them
Yeah.
like one-on-one with their true personality, but then once um, you saw them in a larger group, they would always kind of dim their light a little bit. And seeing that, I just really wanted to advocate for children to be able to truly be themselves,
Mhm.
talk about their feelings, build their confidence, and therapy seemed to be a good place to be able to help create that full personality, their full bold ness and their shine their light as bright as they can.
Yes, yes. I love that. So, what population do you work with, Catherine?
I love my kids. I love elementary age children. I mainly work with children with ADHD and anxiety, um, but I will always go back to my kids.
Okay, okay. So you brought up ADHD. So let's dive a little bit into that because that's definitely a common issue with our children. Um, Help us understand a little bit more about ADHD beyond the hyperactivity because that's the first thing people tend to, really like talk about or notice is the hyperactivity, but it's so much more.
Oh yes, it is so much more. So ADHD, for those who a lot of times I hear kids say, "What's ADHD?" I've had little kids look at their parents and be like, "What's that?" And so it's attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. There's an attention piece, there's a hyperactivity piece. But what may be underlying some of the general term is inattentiveness, which may not always look like, hey, are you listening to me? It may look like them forgetting what they were supposed to be doing. If a parent said, hey, go, clean up your room, make sure that you put your clothes away. Um, Kids may forget that last step. Go put your clothes away, hang them up on the hanger, stuff like that. Um, there's the inability, the struggle to be able to plan out a day or
Mm,
plan out your morning routine. Um, Having those steps can be pretty tough. Um, that I've noticed that be a struggle and something that a lot of my clients need some guidance on.
right, right.
Um, Go ahead.
Oh no, I was agreeing. I said right.
Yeah. Yeah. Some more things, some other things that you may see is the struggle to keep your room cleaned up or keep your supplies organized. I don't know how many times I see a kid when I'm walking through the halls at my schools that I see clients at with all fumbling around with all of their things, and I'm like, oh boy, I
Yeah.
wonder I wonder how I could give them a little bit of a boost, a little reminder to,
Hmm.
keep their stuff organized. Uh, ADHD is a very complex disorder, a diagnosis. But the thing that I hope that more people understand is that ADHD is really, really challenging, but there are so many ways that we can help guide children and adults, because adults have it, it never goes away. That as much as we want to believe that we can grow out of it in adulthood, um, I hope that we can help children and adults understand that this is something that there's so much help and so
Mhm.
many skills that we can build. Um, Through therapy, and that's why I love the Center for Child Development. We have so many really awesome clinicians that work with ADHD specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. That definition pretty much so people can have a clearer understanding. I do have a question. In your work, have you noticed a difference in girls versus boys with ADHD?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So boys with ADHD, you see, you have that image that people have always created that boys are active. They're really hyper and they're always going bouncing off the walls.
Right.
How many times I've heard bouncing off the walls. Um, but for girls specifically, you may see a more spaced out, withdrawn girl who they may be what I always tell my clients or we talk about is daydreaming.
Okay.
We as a teacher is talking and little Sally starts to kind of like go off. They go, my kids hear me say La La Land a lot. They go La La Land, and it might not be them jumping off the walls. It might be more calm behavior, but you're still seeing that inattentiveness, the impulsivity even, girls having different impulse behaviors. But we kind of say, oh, well, that's just what girls do. That's
Right,
what,
right. Mm,
but they're discrediting these girls who may need a diagnosis to get further help or just better understand the struggles they're having. I want to hit on the fact that for girls, um, the thing that can be a huge struggle for girls is confidence.
okay.
They think to that they probably will imagine like, well, why can that other girl get that project done so quickly? Or why did she just get that test done so easily? And she got an A and I got a C and I worked for hours to study. Um, Girls struggle with low self-esteem and you know, it's all because they're comparing themselves to other people who may not have
Yeah.
ADHD or struggle with inattentiveness, impulsivity, and um, that's another. When I go back to the reason I do this work is they their light is dimmed. They don't shine as bright because they feel like there is something wrong with them. But I hope that I can help kids be able to, especially girls, understand that there's nothing wrong with them.
Yeah.
We just have to do it differently.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Catherine, how early? Because I know interventions is early intervention is important. So, how early is it to get your kids signed up for therapy,
I
especially like this?
I think that I've heard sometimes clinicians say that some ages it's too early, but I have so many kiddos who they might just need some emotional literacy, some boost in understanding what emotions feel like, why they begin to have those feelings. I have a kiddo who's 5, and I could probably even say that kids who are 3 and 4 years old could
Mhm.
benefit from ADHD or I'm sorry, from therapy. Having a little bit of emotional literacy, some coping strategies, um, to have in their back pocket as they get older. Kind of, you set them up for success at a really young age.
Absolutely. That's good to know. I think it's important. And like you said, there's so many different modalities out there that we have that we can use with younger children. We have a we have a trauma play suite
Yep.
at our office and a lot of great things. So I love the fact that you're so passionate about the work and it's needed in this field. So I thank you. I admire that passion. I see that. I can hear it in your interview. So how if people want to reach out to you and it's like I want to bring my child to Catherine, how can they do that?
You can check out our website. I am on there under the clinicians page. And the easiest way to get in contact with me is to call the office and set up or fill out the registration form, set up an intake, and um, hopefully we can connect because I would bring me all the ADHD kids and all the kids. I love them. They're my favorite. Um, but another way is just by emailing me my first name at the Center for Child Development
Yes.
doc
Catherine with a C.
with a C.
Catherine with a C.
Right. Yeah.
Catherine, are you, and now help me just jog my memory. Are you office only or are you in the schools as well?
I am mainly a school-based
Okay.
therapist, but I do offer office and virtual.
Okay. Do you want to share what schools, some of the schools you're in, just in case we have some parents that's like, oh, my child
Um,
goes there.
I'm at 5 schools. I'm at Forwood, Academia Antonio Alonso, Lancashire, Southern Elementary, and First State Montessori.
Okay, okay, perfect. Thank you for that. So there you have it. If you are looking for a therapist or you want more information in regards to ADHD for your child, please reach out to Catherine with a C at the Center for Child Development.com, or you can simply just call 302-292-1334 and our client coordinators will get you connected to Miss Catherine. So, Catherine, thank you so much for taking time on your vacation. She's on vacation, y'all. So, she took time to sit down and talk to me today. Why? Because she cares and she wants to get the information out there. So, I really appreciate your time, Catherine. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the therapy room. Once again, please have a wonderful rest of your week. And until next week, have a good day. Catherine, thank you again.
Thank you.